happiness was just outside my window. I thought
What once was the basis of our country's success is now crumbling.
People are losing jobs and being forced to sell their homes.
Pets are being abandoned by their owners who no longer have the money to give them care.
Charities no longer have the income to help those in need.
Schools are cutting programs, affecting the future of America's next generation.
We see America's economy falling to its knees. But how will we gain the strength to rise again? As you are driving down the street, it is natural to see a for sale sign, but most likely you have no thought about how this affects you. Unfortunately, it does. It affects us all. When houses do not sell, they often get foreclosed, which causes debt for a bank, affecting their ability to give out loans for things like college, a car, or even a house. Even though the housing market may be crumbling, economists believe that within the next 5 years, there will be an increase in housing purchases. But until that day comes, we must support our political leaders for guidance in helping our economy overcome this recession.
Well, certainly the economy is going to affect Bonner Springs as it is every other governmental unit in the state and the nation. We are basically in pretty good shape right now. We've been able to lower the mill levy, which figures the city portion of the taxes, for the last 10 years. We've had good fiscal responsibility along with good growth and certainly good sales tax revenue. So we're in a pretty solid position right now. However, the future is a big concern because first of all, I just read that the property valuations in Wyandotte County were down from 6 to 12%. And that's the basis of how your taxes are figured. Also, growth has slowed down. So we think 2010 will be a difficult year. Yet we believe that we're in a position that we can weather the storm and probably not cut any programs, certainly not expand any programs, but not cut them, and maintain the same level of service that we have right now.
We are prepared for and actually have approved some budget cuts for next year. Those budget cuts are primarily in central office maintenance, food service, and a few in ancillary positions, extracurricular. We do have 2 positions at the high school which will be not filled for next year. One through retirement, one through transfer, and one through a person moving to, 2 part-time people moving to another position. Other than that, in terms of the teachers are not going to be impacted, but the services outside of the classroom will be impacted.
The economy has had an effect on the newspaper business nationwide. Here, especially, we had to change our format from the larger broadsheet newspaper that is traditionally seen to a smaller tabloid format. And that will cut down on printing costs because the price of newspaper print has gone sky high.
Because of the fact that people who have degrees are now having to work in restaurants, teenagers like myself are not able to find jobs. Being a senior in high school, I'm now wondering, how am I going to pay for college?
Well, for starters, the beginning of the school year, my dad lost his job because they had to make major cutbacks. So for a few months we had to really cut back on many things. We almost had to sell my truck and move out of the house because he provided for most of our income. And now he has a job now at the Staples in Edwardsville, but it's still really not that much, and we're still barely able to make house payments. I think that we need to get out of this recession soon because it's getting old. I believe in Obama's plan.
There is no simple answer to this ever-growing problem, but there are things we can do to better the situation.
First and most important, we all must have patience and understanding that this is a large problem and it's going to take time to fix.
We must have faith in our political leaders and their plans to better this crisis.
An important step for teens is to make sure that you get an education, because the future of America depends on us and the decisions we make.
We are all aware of the problems with our economy. Coming together as a nation is what gives us hope that we will stand tall as a country once again.